Welcome to Chapter 2. In the previous chapter, we set up our account, created our organization and project, generated API keys, and initialized the SDK. Now it's time to put all of that to work. In this chapter, you'll make your first AI call, see how InteractiveAI automatically captures traces, and then enrich those traces with context that unlocks powerful features like session tracking and user analytics. If you've worked with the OpenAI SDK before, making calls through the router will feel very familiar. The key difference is where you point the client. Instead of api.openai.com, you point to the InteractiveAI Router endpoint. And your model string includes a provider prefix, for example, Anthropic/Claude-Sonnet-4 instead of just Claude-Sonnet-4. This means you can switch between providers by changing a single string with no other code changes required. For our customer support system, we'll use Anthropic's Claude Sonnet 4, which handles conversational interactions well and is cost-effective for high-volume support scenarios. Let's make our first call. We're simulating a customer support inquiry, a user asking, "How long does it take to process a refund to my bank account?" We initialize our clients just like we did in Chapter 1, define the customer's message, and call client.chat.completions.create, passing in the model we want to use and the conversation messages. At the end, we call InteractiveAI.flush to make sure all telemetry data is sent to the platform. This flush call is important. Without it, traces might not appear in the platform. And just like that, we got a response. But something else happened behind the scenes. When the router processed this request, it automatically created a trace in InteractiveAI. Let's go see it. Head over to the InteractiveAI Platform, open your project, and click on Observability, then Traces. You'll see your first trace appear in the list. Each trace in this view shows you several key pieces of information at a glance. The trace name, which is auto-generated at this point, the timestamp of when the interaction occurred, the latency, which tells you how long the request took, the token count for both input and output, the estimated cost of the call, its environment, the tags, and the metadata. Click on the trace to open the full detail view. Here, you can see the complete input and output payloads, the timing breakdown, the model configuration, and more. This is already useful for debugging, but notice something. The trace has an auto-generated generic name, no user information, no session context, and no tags. If you had hundreds of traces coming in from a production system, it would be very hard to find and analyze specific interactions. Let's fix that. Back in our code, we're going to make the same type of call, but this time we'll wrap it with context. There are several important additions here. First, we initialize the InteractiveAI client with an environment parameter set to development. In a real deployment, you'd use production for live traffic, but since we're building and testing, development keeps our tutorial traces cleanly separated from any production data. Next, we define a user ID and a session ID. The user ID links this trace to a specific customer, in our case, user 8472. The session ID groups this trace with other interactions that belong to the same conversation. Support session 1523. Then, instead of just making a raw API call, we wrap everything inside a span using InteractiveAI. Start as current observation. This gives us a named trace, refund inquiry, which is far more descriptive than an auto-generated ID. Inside the span, we call update trace to attach the user ID, session ID, tags like support and refund, and metadata like the inquiry type and channel. Let's run this and go see the difference in the platform. Back in the traces view, you'll now see a trace named refund inquiry instead of an auto-generated identifier. Already more useful. Open the trace and you'll see all the context we added. The user ID, the session ID, the environment tag, the metadata fields, and the structured input and output. You can now filter by environment to separate development traces from production data, or even by user, to see every interaction from user 8472. These filters become essential when you're operating at scale with thousands of traces flowing in. But there's more. Remember that session ID we attached? Let's see what that unlocks. Go to Observability, then Sessions. A session represents a complete conversation between a user and your system. When you assign the same session ID across multiple traces, InteractiveAI groups them together into a single session. This is how you model multi-turn conversations, something that's fundamental to any real customer support system, where a user doesn't just ask one question and leave. In the Sessions view, you can see each session listed with its creation time, duration, the environment it belongs to, the user ID associated with it, the number of traces inside it, the total model cost accumulated across all those traces, and the overall token usage. Click on a session to open it, and you'll see all the traces that belong to that conversation in chronological order. This gives you a complete replay of the interaction. Right now, we only have one trace in this session, but in the next chapter, when we build multi-turn conversations, you'll see how this session view becomes indispensable for understanding conversation flow and debugging issues that only emerge across multiple turns. Let's see the other side of this. Go to Reporting, then User Tracking. This view shows every user who has interacted with your system, identified by the user ID you passed when creating traces. At a glance, you can see each user's ID when their first and last events occurred, the total number of events they've generated, their total token usage, and the associated model cost. This gives you an immediate understanding of user-level activity without having to inspect traces individually. Click on a specific user. You're now inside that user's dedicated analytics page. At the top, you'll see a summary: total observations, trace count, total tokens consumed, total model cost, and the time window in which they were active. This gives you an instant snapshot of that user's footprint in your system. Below that, you'll notice 3 tabs: Traces, Sessions, and Scores. These mirror the observability views we explored earlier, but now everything is filtered to a single user. Let's start with Traces. Here, you can see every trace generated by this user, including the trace name, timestamp, input and output previews, latency, token usage, and cost. It gives you a clear, chronological record of each individual interaction tied specifically to this user. Now switch to Sessions. The Sessions tab groups those traces into full conversations based on the session ID you attached. You can see when each session started, its duration, how many traces it contains, and the total tokens and cost accumulated across the entire conversation. Finally, go to Scores. This is where any evaluation metrics attached to this user's traces would appear. It's empty for now, but once we implement trace-level scoring in the next chapter, this tab will surface those evaluation metrics automatically. From here, you can already see how user-level enrichment transforms raw AI calls into structured, analyzable behavior. Instead of isolated interactions, you now have a complete organized history of every user's relationship with your system. So let's recap what we've accomplished in this chapter. We made our first call through the router and saw how a basic trace is captured automatically. Then we enriched that trace with meaningful context. A descriptive name, user identification, session grouping, environment separation, tags, and metadata. And we saw how that enrichment directly powers the sessions and user tracking views, turning raw traces into an organized, searchable history of every interaction in your system. In the next chapter, we'll build on this foundation by creating multi-turn conversations, working with nested observations to capture complex workflows, and attaching quality scores to our traces.